Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new around here, my name is Kazmira. I share all things beauty, slow fashion, travel when we can travel more, and just some lifestyle tips. You know, I like cozy things. So anyway, today this was a requested video. If you haven't seen any of my past videos, my husband and I are in the process of trying to find a house right now to purchase. It has been a journey, so I wanted to film this video to kind of just like prepare your hearts and your mind for this process. If it's something that you're going through right now, maybe you are going through it and it's just a relatable video, but I just really think more people should be prepared of the reality of buying your first house. It is not as fun as it's sought out to be. So I'm just being honest with you, and I'm gonna share just a few of my tips and things that I've learned along the way. We haven't bought or found a house yet, so things might change, and by the time I post a video saying we bought a house, whenever that comes, maybe I'll look back in this video and be like, what the heck was I talking about? But these are just things that I've learned as a first-time home buyer, and like I said, just want to share them to you because I just feel like there's a lot of it's expected for the home buying process to be unknown to first-time home buyers, but I do think that there's some terminology and lingo and just things that you should know going into it, like I said, to prepare your hearts and just so you're aware of the timeline of it. So starting out, we started looking at houses actively, ready to purchase in the beginning of December. We were actually in Michigan until about January looking at houses in Michigan to purchase. By the end of January, so that's one full month of looking at houses, just looking at them none worked out. And that was from December to January. By the time January came around, we were like, I don't really feel like Michigan is the place that our heart is set on right now. Our heart is really still in Nashville. So come January, well, yeah, ever since January until now, which is March 8th, when I'm filming this video, we have been looking hours every single day. It is really just our morning and night routine, or it has been added to our morning and night routine to search the market and see if any new houses have been added. That being said, we're obviously still looking. For an example of why I think this video is so important is because a house we were going to go see, and Ellie, stop girl. I think it's so important is because a house we were going to potentially put an offer in on today had literally 20 offers. I was like, this has got to be a joke. So I'm just going to run through 5 quick, I think, well, I'm hoping they're going to be quick, but 5 little tips and things that you should know going into the home buying process. So the first one is pre-approval. I know this seems pretty standard, but as two future homeowners that are self-employed, the pre-approval process took a little bit longer. It doesn't take too much time to actually get your pre-approval letter. You can get a pre-approval letter from a lender in a couple of days by the time you send them all of the information that they need. The thing that takes a while that I would definitely suggest doing and factoring this into your timeline is shopping around with different lenders. We shopped around with about 3 or 4 different lenders to see who would be able to approve us for the most, especially like I said, as being self-employed, it was a little bit more tricky. And also who could get us the best interest rate. Right now the interest rates, as I'm sure you know, especially if you're watching this video, are extremely low, and that's why the competition is so high. So the interest rate I think we were approved for was around 2.75 was the average we kind of are banking on, but it can be as low as 2.25 right now. So that's just one really important thing is don't even start looking until you are pre-approved, because if you do, you might find a house you want, you might find a house you like, the offer deadline might be quicker than when you actually get your pre-approval letter, and then you're not even going to be able to put in an offer. You cannot put in an offer without a pre-approval letter, so don't hurt your little heart and go look at a house without being pre-approved, and also don't not shop around. You want to make sure you shop around. I guess the second thing that I'll go into going off of the pre-approval is don't look too far too much higher than your budget. So the pre-approval is a really good process starting out, because then you'll know your max budget, then what that like monthly payment will look like, what monthly fees come with it, and stuff like that. So I just encourage y'all to not look much higher than your budget. We look about $5,000 to $10,000 higher than our budget, just because we have some wiggle room with like paying cash, or like paying the difference in cash, or if that's even a thing, I don't know. We haven't obviously made it that far, but also just if a house has been on the market for a while and it's only $5,000 over your budget, you could under offer. It is extremely rare now that that's happening, but that is something that we have done. We just didn't move forward with the house. So that is an option. Just when you set your searches on whatever app or real estate source you're going to use, just make sure it's not too much above your budget, because that'll hurt your little heart when you are shopping for a house. And I also feel like I keep referencing your heart, because buying a first time house, like I said, is not as exciting as it sounds. Honestly, it's, to us, has been very stressful and not really that fun. I know that we've been learning so much throughout this whole process, and when we actually have a house, we'll be so grateful. I'm so grateful that I can even buy a house right now, being 25, but it just is an emotional roller coaster buying a house, looking for houses, and just going through the whole journey. So that's why I keep referencing your heart, because it truly is an emotional game, if you will. So anyway, don't search too high over your budget. I'm trying to keep this video short for you. The next thing that we can kind of go into, if you are a first-time home buyer, I feel like I don't know too much about this, but it's something I never knew before, so I wanted to tell you. It is called earnest money. So pretty much it's the amount of money that you give in like a cashier's check or a check or whatever to after your offer is accepted, not before. So once like the seller has accepted your offer, you say in your offer, you say, I am going to offer this amount of earnest money. So $2,000, I believe, was like the standard or average earnest money that you include in your offer. So your offer would say, I offer this amount on the house with a down payment of this much and $2,000 in earnest money. So if they were to accept your offer, pretty much while everything's pending, they get that $2,000, or the $2,000 check is like held pretty much as just so they know that you're like serious about it. It's just part of the offer. But one house that we were really serious about that we didn't get, we actually put an earnest money of $5,000. We just did that because we were really serious. The earnest money does go towards your down payment. So we were like, okay, we're gonna spend that much anyways on our down payment. If this makes it seem and show that we're really serious about the house, and let's just do $5,000 with our offer. So we did that. We didn't get the house because actually someone offered cash on the house, so that's why we didn't get it, or else we were next in line, which is a bummer, but part of the game. And yeah, so that's earnest money. I had no idea what earnest money even was, so that's why I wanted to, like I said, share it. I also think if you are a first-time home buyer and you are going to put in your offer and you're comparing it to like all these other offers right now, which like all the housing market, like I said, is insane. So I'm sure any house you put an offer in is going to have another offer that you're competing with. So being a first-time home buyer is kind of helpful, I feel like. I don't know if it's true, but like you don't have a house to sell, so you can get in a house as soon as the seller wants to close, and like you already most likely have money saved for your down payment, so your earnest money can be more if you're comfortable and if like you're serious about the house. So that's just one little tidbit thing. Ask your real estate agent. I am definitely not a real estate agent and cannot keep up with the real estate industry. It's insane, but there's a little tip for you. The next thing we'll talk about, there's two other things. We're going to talk about the timeline of it, which I kind of had briefly mentioned, and then the last thing is like the competition and the offers and all of the crazy things that are going on. So yes, the timeline, like I mentioned, we have been, well, okay, we moved out of our house in November from Nashville. All of our stuff has been in storage since November, and we've just been like traveling and staying with family ever since, looking for houses. We've been FaceTiming our real estate agent pretty much every week, seeing multiple houses a day, looking at every hour. We have our notifications on as soon as a house goes live, all of that good stuff. But the realistic timeline of it is that we are 3 months in to looking for a house, which is insane. I was like, it's not gonna take that long. We're gonna find a house, it's gonna be great. Dumb. It has taken us 3 months, and honestly, I expect to, I don't even want to say this out loud, but realistically, we won't be in a house until mid or end of April if we find one in March. I am putting it out there that we're gonna find a house in March, but that then brings me to the closing time. It will take at least 30 days to close on your house. Especially with the market right now. I feel like lenders are also busy, so that's also maybe prolonging the closing process. I don't know for sure because I haven't closed on a house yet, but I do know that 30 days is the amount of time that you're gonna wanna prepare for, I guess. So if you're like us, and you kind of are in a limbo transition time, you wanna maybe, like we're looking at monthly Airbnbs for the next couple of months, hotels, you know, month-to-month rentals, or you kind of can like time it out with your rental if you are in a rental right now. So for example, our lease for our rental ended in this past November. Knowing that, I would have probably started looking for houses 3 months prior to that. We weren't in the mental state to do that, so that's why we didn't, and that's why we started when we left our house. But I would just prepare for that timeline, because you know, it is, even if you find a house that you love and you're like, yes, this is the one, which has happened to us at least 10 times, the timeline might not work, or you might get outbid. Which brings me to my next and last point. One thing I didn't mention is down payment and like how to plan and save and just think of all that, I guess, and just share the things that I've learned. But maybe if you want to see that, you can like this video or leave a comment that you'd like to see that, and I can do some version of part 2, or maybe I can just include that in the video when we actually find a house. But either way, let me know if that's something that you want to see and if this video is helpful for you. But yes, the last thing is not only the reality of the timeline, but also the reality of the competition right now. As you know, it is a seller's friggin' market. It is crazy. So there was one house we wanted a realtor to go see for us today, and yeah, literally it had 20 offers. So we were like, okay, cool, don't go there. That's absolutely ridiculous. Some houses are going for and selling for almost $50,000 more than the asking price. So it's crazy. Honestly, right now with our budget, we're looking at homes that are like 10,000 under our budget, just because we know, as far as like 10,000 under like at a listing price, because we know when it actually is sold, it will sell for over asking price, if that makes sense. So say our budget is $350, we're looking at houses that are $340, because we know houses that are listed at $340 are going from anywhere from $350 to $360. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it does, but pretty much all houses are going over asking price right now is what I'm getting at. We actually offered $12,000 more over asking price on one house, and we didn't get it because we were outbid, I guess. Is that the right word? I don't know. But someone offered, I don't know what amount, but someone offered cash, and obviously that was taken in a heartbeat over financing, which was so sad. Honestly, speaking it all out loud just makes it seem so, it's comical at this point. It truly is a game. Going back to the emotional attachment of the house buying journey, I will say, try so hard. Do not picture yourself living in this house. This is brutal, but it is true. Don't picture yourself living in the house. You will have a gut instinct like feeling on if it's a house that you can picture yourself in or not. Like we saw a house today that we could have put an offer in, but we were just like not feeling it. And that was even just through FaceTime. So you'll get a feel of whether or not the house could be yours, but don't go into like deep thinking of like, dang, we could put a garden here and like turn this into our office and put these floors in. Don't do that. Do not. It's gonna hurt you. I have gone through it so many times in Michigan houses and Tennessee houses, and at this point I'm like, it is truly a game. Like if you're trying to buy a house, it is a game, and you could get outbid at any moment. So even if you don't get outbid by a cash offer, you could get outbid by a different loan, someone that has the same amount as you but is putting more down, someone who, yes, is a cash offer, or just simply someone who's offering more, and the listing agent isn't able to tell you how much the other offers are at, so you kind of go in thinking of, okay, I think that like this would be a competitive offer, and then you kind of cross your fingers there and then hope that like your earnest money and your down payment and the fact that you don't have to sell your current house all like works to be good for you, and like it works in your benefit. So there's a lot of things. That is also why I say prepare your heart, because like I said, we have been, another house we put an offer in had 8 offers. We had no idea what those offers were. We offered over asking and we still didn't get it. So even though we have all those things going for us, we still have not been able to get a house because the market is crazy. So I hope that helped. I don't know. I feel like I should cut off right now because I can keep going on rants about the market right now. Last thing I will say is, as far as timeline goes, it does take a while. Obviously, it's taken us 3 months, over 3 months to find a house. But also, there has been continuous houses this whole time. So I know if you are going through trying to find a house, especially in Nashville, it's exhausting and you don't freaking want to hear this, but there is always going to be another house that you can dream of being in. So don't be like too upset by it. It's sad that no one tells you that you have to like remove your excitement from the first time that you buy a house, but at this rate that is what I've done. And maybe it isn't always like this, but maybe it's just because it is a seller's market right now. But I have removed my emotional attachment to a house during this process because there's literally no point. Like that, we have gone through so many houses. I can picture us in so many houses. At this rate, I have my dream house, and I know that that's not going to be our first house. So I'm kind of open to any house at this rate. The area is like the one thing that, you know, we're paying attention to, but yeah, just people don't tell you that, and it is an exciting time. I think we will definitely celebrate when we get a house. I'm straight up throwing a party, but just when you're starting out, don't think you're going to get a house right away, because it's really unlikely that you're going to. If you do, I'm so happy for you, genuinely, because I don't want anyone to go through what we're going through, but I think it's pretty common what we're going through. I know a few people who are buying a house and are in Airbnb for 3 months because they know that like they're just not gonna find a house right away. Like I said, especially in Nashville, a house is usually on the market for 24 hours and sold the next day. Some houses will have it'll go on the market on a Saturday, have an open house on Sunday, and they will take offers until Monday at 2 p.m. That's like pretty typical timeline for the amount of time a house is on the market. So that's a good indicator of what we're working with right now. I will definitely keep y'all updated if we do find a house. Oh, I can't wait for that to happen. We are going to Nashville in a couple of weeks. I'll try to film some stuff while we're there with Beyond the House opening, and I'll be launching like in Nashville, so I'm excited there, planning some pop-ups in Nashville this summer. This video is not short like I wanted it to be, but there's just a lot that comes along with buying a house, especially as a first-time home buyer. So I hope this video helped. I hope some of the like terminology and lingo will set you up for better success, or even just set you up to know what kind of questions to ask your realtor about, because like I said, I'm not a realtor, but maybe knowing these terms will help you, or just will give you a push to ask your realtor for more information. But anyway, I will talk to you very soon. I so appreciate you for watching. If you have made it this far, all 20-ish minutes of it. I do and am doing weekly giveaways of, I'm just gonna send out little virtual gift cards to people who are commenting, so make sure you are commenting. I want to take care and love on all 3-ish hundred of you guys that are subscribers. I so appreciate you and your time watching and supporting me, so don't forget to comment if you watch this video, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.